This is similar to what is happening now to Governor Snyder. The special counsel for the state attorney general's office has launched an investigation. And he says, I didn't say this, he says, that state officials could face charges including breach of duty, gross negligence, or even manslaughter. Charges, he says, are, and I quote, not far-fetched, end of quote. On our committee, we've obtained documents showing that people all around the governor, including his chief of staff, were sounding the alarms, but he either ignored them or didn't hear them. So we're talking about quotes. Let's talk about them. In October 2014, the governor's top legal advisor had warned that Flint should, and I quote, get back on the Detroit system as a stopgap as soon as possible before this thing is too far out of control. End of quote. That's the chief of staff. In March of 2015, the governor's own chief of staff, now that was his legal advisor, but his chief of staff said in March of 2015, if we procrastinate any longer in doing something direct, we'll have real trouble, end of quote. That's from the chief of staff. And in July, his chief of staff again warned that Flint residents, and I quote, are concerned, and rightfully so, about the lead level studies they are receiving. They are basically getting blown off by us, end of quote. The document reveals failures at every level, led by Governor Snyder's hand-picked appointees, and the governor's fingerprints are all over this. His Department of Environmental Quality, his Department of Health and Human Services, his inner circle of top aides, his press staff, and his chief of staff, and of course the emergency managers the governor put in charge of Flint. There will now be an entire generation of children who suffer from brain damage, learning disabilities, and many other horrible effects of lead poisoning that were inflicted on them by Governor Snyder's administration. There'll be many children, Mr. Chairman, who will sit in the second and third grade and will not be able to read the words "see, spot, run," and won't know why. But the reason why is because there's lead in their veins. Now, Republicans are desperately trying to blame everything on the EPA. So let me say this. I agree that the EPA should have done more. They should have rushed in sooner to rescue the people of Michigan from Governor Snyder's vindictive administration and his utter incompetence at every level. Governor Snyder's administration had primary responsibility for enforcement under the Safe Drinking Water Act, not the EPA. Governor Snyder's administration chose to switch to the Flint River for a source of water, not the EPA. Governor Snyder's administration ignored warnings from the Flint water treatment plant supervisor not to go forward with the switch, not the EPA. Governor Snyder's administration falsely told the city of Flint that corrosion control was unnecessary, not the EPA. Governor Snyder's administration delayed corrosion control for months and harmed thousands of additional people in the process, not the EPA. Governor Snyder's administration overruled the Flint City Council's vote to return to clean Detroit water, not the EPA, as I close. So yes, I agree. The EPA should have snatched control out of Governor Snyder's hands even sooner than they did. But Governor Snyder's administration caused this horrific disaster and poisoned the children of Flint. On the governor's website, his motto is, and I quote, reinventing Michigan, getting it right, getting it done, end of quote. It's hard to imagine a more misleading slogan. It also says this, and I quote, We will learn from this experience, end of quote. And so, as I said earlier in the other hearing, these children, when we're dead and gone, these children will suffer for what we failed to do. And so, Mr. Chairman, as I've said to you before, we have to be the last line of defense. We have to be it, because generations yet unborn will suffer. But we've got to do everything in our power to mitigate that. I look forward to the hearing, and I yield.